Everybody, it's your girl Deshonda Carter, but you can call me DC. Thanks so much for tuning in today to my show, When the Blue Comes Off. Sit back, relax, take notes, do what you like, and let's get into it. Hey guys, it's your girl Deshonda Carter, but you can call me what? DC. On today's show, I am so honored and privileged, I feel, to have this woman, Councilwoman Tasha Diaz of Yonkers, District 3. She's going to be on today talking to us about all that she does for the community of Yonkers. And I can tell you guys, I've worked with this woman personally, and she is the truth. She is the embodiment of community service. So I want you to give it up. If you're driving, turn up the volume. If you're listening on YouTube, turn up the volume. If you're watching on YouTube, turn up the volume. And let's listen to this phenomenal woman. Tasha Diaz, let's get into it. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's an honor and a pleasure for me to actually be here talking to you.
No, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule and scheduling me in. I'm really, really excited and really grateful. I just can't express to you how proud I am of you and the things that you've shown me just by working with you in the small time that I've worked with you in your community. Your community is the greatest. I'm not from Yonkers, but I don't know. The Yonkers people are very, very special and very, very sweet. All of the people that I've met that were through you are the bomb. So again, I want to thank you so much for introducing me to your community, and I look forward to working with you in the near future. So let's get into it. So how does one become a councilwoman? What was that like for you? What made you say, I'm going to wake up today and become a councilwoman?
Well, I saw what the odds were for my community. I was born and raised in Yonkers. I still reside where my family has been for over 50 years. We have now 9 generations coming up in the same apartment building. And now that I'm a mother and my kids are growing up and now they're of age, I said, it's time for me to give back, because I've seen the fight that I had to fight for throughout the community for certain things. I was president of the Tenants Association in my building, and I also helped neighboring buildings start tenants associations. To let people know that they do have rights and that they can speak up if they feel like their living conditions are not good, or if they feel as if they have some issues or concerns that they would like to bring forth, or even see more activities within their building, or to get relationships with neighbors, the management or superintendents of the buildings, whichever. So I went around and I formed these tenants associations, and I was saying, wow, there is a lot going on in the community. And I'm ready for the challenge. I mean, who knows Yonkers better than me? I mean, I'm born and raised here. So I said, you know what? I have to put my hat into this race, because if I don't, I can't complain, because here I am. My kids are already of age. They graduated. I have some time on my hands. And I said, you know what? Let's give it a shot. And I gave it my all. And I came out successful. I actually came out in a 3-way primary with over 56% of the vote. So the community came out and they spoke for me.
Right.
And that was a beautiful thing. And with that, I'm the first woman of color to ever represent District 3. It has never been a person of color. So that was another accomplishment. So not only me running, I made history while running.
That is amazing, Tasha. I'm so excited.
Thank you.
Look at that black girl magic. Look at that black girl magic. That's what I'm talking about.
Do when we come together.
Right. And with that, once you became elected, how many times have you been? Is it your first run, or is this your second term?
Well, this is my first term being
Okay.
elected. I've been in office. I ran in 19 or 20. I have a 4-year tenure.
Okay.
So I'll be up for re-election in 2024.
Oh, I don't even think this. I'm not even worried about the reelection. I think we got this in the bag. I'm down for the reelection process with you, so I know
Thank
you
you.
got this in the bag. So after you ran and you won, what was, or what would you say was the hardest thing for you initially coming in? Because this was totally new to you. As far, I mean, you were good in working with the community because that was something that you already knew how to do. But what was the hardest thing, or the thing that you wanted to accomplish the most thus far, like going into office?
The accolades that I ran on, I wanted to let the community know that it wasn't just something that I was presenting to them while running on my campaign.
Mm-hmm.
So, from the day that I was councilwoman elect back June 22nd, I started boots on the ground from June 22nd. And everybody's like, why are you still out here like you're running for an election? I said, because I have people that entrusted certain values in me. And I have to prove to them that I was not there just for their vote, but I was there to implement positive change, and that I'm not going to wait to get sworn in January 1. I'm going to start now. So when January 1 comes, I'll just be continuing where I left off. I won't be starting to show them, like, look, this is what I can do. I've already been doing it as councilwoman elect. I did the first ever gingerbread house extravaganza in Yonkers, where I brought families together, and I made it a purpose to say, I want a parent to bring this child to this event. I don't want it to be where it's a drop-off service, because I wanted the parents and the children to engage, and also engage with local government.
Mm-hmm.
And that was in December. I gave out turkeys that November, and they were like, girl, what are you doing? They have people that do that. And I said, that's the problem. It can never be too much. So thank you for the people that are out here that's doing it, but I want to be a part of that process as well.
Right.
And then January 1 came, I got elected, and then February came. I fought for certain things as education chair because I wanted to be education chair. And a lot of people said to me, why do you want education? That's not a powerful board to chair. And I said, powerful? Look, I'm not here for power. I'm here for change. And if I can be education chair and get to our little minds and embed certain things into them, so when they get older, they can say, look at her. She was born and raised in South Yonkers. She's still living there. She's a council person. That can be me. I wanted kids to look at me and say, she dreamt of something and it came true. That could also be me. So I said, I want education. I didn't pick I didn't pick the committees that people felt like, I can sit with this one and I can sit with that one. I wanted to sit amongst the parents and the children,
Right.
the board of trustees, the superintendent of schools, to implement change. And I went up to Albany in February and we fought for change. And then Corona hit. So that was another thing why I said I'm glad I got boots on the ground early, because with Corona hitting, a lot of people were not out because they were scared. I mean, I was one of the ones that was scared, but if you look back at what I did, I was out during COVID every single day. I was scared. I cried at times and said, what are you doing? You can bring this back to your family. You're always with the seniors. You're always around kids. You can bring this back. But I took extra special caution. I changed my diet. Like, I was out there, rain, hail, sleet, and snow. I was knocking on doors, delivering food to people, because we were in a pandemic, but people still had to eat. So I was out there doing and showing them that they actually elected someone that was for the community.
Right. And you have not deterred them to say, you know what, we made a bad decision.
Correct.
You have kept that promise and are continuing to keep that promise as we speak. And I'm so grateful, and I know that the people of Yonkers are grateful to you as well, because without you, a lot of people would not have been fed during that pandemic. And it leads me to my next question about food pantries, right? I believe you do something in your community pertaining to food pantries or food distributions.
Yes, yes. This is something that I was doing before I was elected, but I was doing it out of the trunk of my car. I would go up to a church, and they would fill my car up with food. And I would go to every senior building. I would stop people on the street and I would feed them. This was something that my grandmother did with me when I was young. You know, my mother was somewhat of a single parent. My father was around, but my mother was the breadwinner. She was the one that was there all the time, but she had to work. So who did she leave me with? My grandparents. My grandmother was always a pillar in the community. She fed everybody. She cooked for the church. She made me a Girl Scout. She made me a CBC choir angel. She made me sing. She made me go to the churches. We cooked for the elders. We delivered the meals to the elders. And these are things that she instilled in me when I was small. And I kept saying, Nana must think I am Wonder Woman. She had me everywhere. And I kept saying, why me? I had a bunch of cousins. She had about 32 grandchildren. And we were all there, but it was me. Tasha, you got to do this. Tasha, you got to do that. Tasha, you can do this. And I kept saying, why me? Why me? But now that I'm older, I understand why. She saw something in me. Mm-hmm. And what her mother and her grandmother instilled in her little, she wanted to embed that in me. So for that, I thank her so much, because I probably wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now if it wasn't for her. So once elected, I said, now that I'm elected, and I told them that I was going to come with resources, which a lot of people say that, and they don't. So I said, you know what? I got to fight for this. So I started off with a grant for fresh produce. I was doing it every week during COVID, during the summer. I had some volunteers. We did it every week, every Friday. We were out there. We got 20,000 pounds of fresh produce, because I said, my community deserves fresh items, but we always can't afford that. So I said, I went to feed in Westchester and my saints, I call him my saints, Jeffrey Meyer and Ridgeway Alliance Church. And I said, we have to do something for the community. And we all brainstormed and we got together, and they gave me a grant. So I fed the community throughout the entire summer, every Friday. From 12 to 4, I was out there with fresh fruits and vegetables. And every week we got something different. So that way they didn't get tired of what I was giving them. And people were like, are you crazy? You're giving out food. Just give them whatever. And I said, no. I want them to be able to get things that they're going to eat, things they're going to utilize, and introduce the smaller children into eating fruits and vegetables. So that way they can grow up to be healthy. So from then, I got a call. And once it was over, they were like, wow, Diaz, we got the numbers. You fed 66,000 families. That's just families. That's not even people. So they were like, this is something that we want to give to you permanent. And I was like, me? And they were like, we're going to give you this fresh produce permanently. So now I have it permanently, which I do it once a month at a Serato Park. My next distribution is July 12th. And then on top of that, I said, well, I need something else for my community. So myself, Ridgeway Alliance Church, Native Sage, and Jeffrey Meyer, my saint, we got together. And now I have another food program that I get over 10,000 pounds of food weekly. So with that food, I deliver to all of the senior buildings. I give to all of the churches. I also give to Yonkers Public Schools as education chair. I want to make sure that the children, even though it's summer, that they still have access to food. So they come by with a truck and they fill up the truck. I give to the New York Latinos of America. I give to San Andreas. I just give to everybody. The First Arabic Baptist Church in Yonkers, the father always comes down. I give to him. I give to the Muslim community. I don't see district lines. I see where there's a need. And if there's a need, I'm there.
So it doesn't even matter if they're not in your district. You're helping the entire Yonkers community, wherever the need is. You just go out and do outreach, correct?
Yes. I was in Thornwood yesterday giving out food. I even go to neighboring cities. I've had people call me from Port Chester. I've had people call me from Mount Vernon. I've had people call me from New Rochelle. Just yesterday, I was out there in 95-degree weather. It felt like 102 sweltering. I was there in Chicken Island in Yonkers with about maybe 6 volunteers giving out food. And people were like, are you crazy? It is hot outside today. I said, you know what? People still need to eat. I thank God every day that I can go into my refrigerator and eat what I want. And I thank God that I'm able to feed my family and my children. So I said, me being out here, this is what I was elected to do. You lead by example.
Absolutely. But you know, Tasha, your story, and you're just so inspiring, and it's so, I don't know, it's like you're almost epic. Like your grandmother said, what you thought. You're superwoman because you don't let anything stop you. You set your mind to something and you see a need and you act. You're proactive. You're not reactive, and that is
Yes.
what the community needs. That's what all communities need. Someone who, it's like you said, boots on the ground, communicating and connecting with the community. I wish there were more people that understood that it's important to be in the midst of the sheep than sitting inside of an office and spewing out orders and suggestions and not getting to know your community. And I know your community knows you because everyone is like, "Oh, you're Tasha's friend." I'm like, "Yeah, Tasha's friend." And they're like, "Yeah, I saw you. Yes, come bring your glam truck." The lady, I think she's part of the chamber, not the chamber, the school district, the charter school district.
Yes, Carmen Goldberg.
Oh, she was such a sweet woman. We did a party for her granddaughter. And
Yes.
and she came and she said, I just have to say hi to you. I was on the phone with my friend Tasha, telling her about this glam truck that you have. And she was like, oh, that's my friend.
Yes. Because see, Carmen didn't go to Easter. Her daughter, Elena, actually came to Easter when we did the Easter event.
Yes.
She actually came with her 2 girls, and she brought her 2 nephews with her. Carmen was home. She's the grandmother. She was home cooking.
Okay.
So Carmen wasn't able to meet you, but Elena talked so highly of you. She loved you. Miss Victoria and Miss Charlotte, those are her daughters, they loved the Diva Glam Bus. They loved it.
So for you guys that don't know, I have a game truck slash Diva Glam truck, and I do birthday parties for adults and children, specifically women and girls, but we do have activities for boys. And I have been networking with Miss Councilwoman Diaz here in her community. We met by way of an Easter event that she had sponsored for her community, and ever since then we have been networking and working with the people in her community. And I'm telling you, I've been getting Yonkers business since the pandemic has not stopped but opened up a little bit. And again, Councilwoman, thank you for that. But we're going to take a quick back and come back with the Councilwoman. Don't go anywhere, stay tuned. Tasha will be right back.
Hey, it's your girl Deshonda Carter, but you can call me DC. Check out my show, When the Blue Comes Off. We're talking to law enforcement personnel and all blue-collar workers serving the community. You can catch me every Thursday, 4 p.m. Eastern on www.totalentradio.com and on demand on Roku from the Ground Up Productions and on my YouTube channel, Simply Carter Corp. Hope to see you there.
Welcome back with me, DC, and the Councilwoman, Tasha Diaz. So, Tasha, just to go back a little bit with the food pantry, I understand you're also doing a separate distribution program as well. That's something different, if I'm not mistaken. Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Yes. So we do the pantry, which will be on Mondays, but we also go out throughout and we do distributions privately. We have people that don't want their families to know what they're going through. They don't want their neighbors to know what they're going through. So what we do is they contact us. We get their information. We go door to door. We drop the bags right at their front door. Nobody will never know. And it's not a grocery bag where you see people coming in and giving you groceries. It's in a discreet bag. It'll go in front of their door. It'll go on their knob. Or if they know neighbors or seniors that also we'll do a building. They could give us 5 names, we'll do a building. We also have someone that is that's going to get on board with us. He is going to be doing, we're going to be doing meals as well. So he's going to be cooking the food that we get from the pantry.
Okay.
And we're going to be distributing those to our seniors, because a lot of our seniors have asked for some TV dinners. We all know some of them cook because they have big families or, grandchildren.
Right.
But a lot of them, sometimes if they're home alone, they don't really cook because it doesn't benefit them to cook sometimes for one person, especially when it's hot.
Absolutely.
So I bring them a lot of canned items like tuna fish. And it's always healthy things that I bring to them, things in water without oil, no preservatives, those kind of items. So what we're going to start now doing is I'm going to get together with myself and the county legislator, Jose Alvarado. I just spoke to his legislative aide, Millie Gutierrez. We're going to find someone reached out and said that they want to cook some of the items. He's a chef. He wants to be able to get the food that I get from the pantry and cook. So on the weekends, so we know that the seniors are good. They have a meal from Friday, for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So we'll give them about 2 to 3 TV dinners each. Mm-hmm. So that way they can freeze them, they can keep them. And then I got another call that someone wants to donate $2,000 worth of food to me this week. She works for JP Morgan. I don't know who she is. She saw me on a live video yesterday out in 100-degree weather, and she contacted Yonkers Voice, which was doing a live for me. Shout out to Ben from Yonkers Voice. He's always there for me, and he does what he does for free. He comes around with me because he loves the work that I do, and he has the same kind of heart. So he follows me around for free, and someone seen me on his media outlet, and her and her family said, we want to give you $2,000 worth of items to distribute. So once we get off this interview, I'll be calling Miss Tiffany at 4, and we're going to get together. And she's saying, what does the community need? What should I get? That's a beautiful thing. So this is growing. This is getting bigger. So this distribution has turned into me feeding the community, to me feeding the entire city, to me actually branching off. And we want to work with the Parks Department. I don't know, a lot of people back in the day, we used to get the free lunches that they gave out in Serrato Park and the parks throughout the city. We don't have that anymore. And when I drive by a lot of parks and I see children that are out in the sprinklers and they've been out there all day in the heat, something struck a chord in me and said, have they eaten all day? Because when kids, when they start playing, they're out there, they're playing, they don't want to stop, they don't want to eat. So why can't we bring the lunches back to them?
Right.
They used to give us a sandwich with a piece of fruit and a juice or a milk. Why don't we have that anymore? And I'm getting all of this free food. These are things that I want to implement back into Yonkers. And it's free. It's not costing me anything. And like I said, I get over 10,000 pounds of food weekly. And I could double that if needed. They already told me if you need 20,000 pounds a week, we can give it to you. And it's not only food. I do health and beauty aids. I do cleaning supplies. So when we talk about food, we do everything. We do food, we do deodorant. I made sure last week all of the seniors got the cleaning supplies, the sponges, because we all know that stuff is costly. And some people that get food stamps, you can't buy cleaning supplies on food stamps. So what is it? You can't clean your house because you don't have the supplies? No, I want to be the person to fill the gap if there's a gap in anything that you need. So we're able to buy all kinds of things through this program that we have. And it's such a beautiful thing.
So there's going to be a ribbon cutting for this particular service coming up soon, correct?
Yes. We just got the refrigerations in. And that's a beautiful thing. Someone donated 2 brand new refrigerators to me. I don't know who this person is. I just got a donation. Wow. I got a call and they said, we've heard everything that you've done. And we want to donate refrigerators to you. So I'm like, oh, thank you. And he's like, the delivery will be there. And I'm like, delivery? I don't have to pick them up. He's like, no, I'm giving you brand new refrigerators that I bought, that I purchased to deliver to you. I got those Friday. Beautiful. I got shelving that was donated to me through the Ridgeway Alliance Church. So we got everything that we need to start the ribbon cutting. So in the next couple of weeks, we're going to be getting the facility together so everybody could come out. And you can actually do grocery shopping. So you can call me on a day, like a Wednesday or Thursday, if we're not in the office on that Monday, and you can say, Mrs. Diaz, I need food. Can I meet you at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock to come in and actually grocery shop? Because we're going to have beverages, we're going to have snacks, we're going to have everything. Anything you need. We have toilet paper. We get all kinds of items. So if you need baby wipes or anything, I want to be that one-stop shopping. If I can save you some money from going to ShopRite or Stop and Shop, that's what I want to do. I mean, the stores won't be happy, but I'm making the constituents happy. That's my goal.
And that's the most important thing that you need to do. Make your constituents happy. Now, when you said bridge the gap, just to touch briefly on it, because I have to talk about the blue, because the show is When the Blue Comes Off. You did an event, I believe it was, I'm not sure what the title was, but I know it had to do with the law enforcement of the community. And I do believe, I can't recall his name, but I do believe I met the commissioner of that particular area of Yonkers Police. And I want to say he was a sweetheart.
Yes.
Told him about the show that I was working on, and he was like, I would love to be on your show. So I do have to get the contact information. I think it's stored in my my phone somewhere, and I just need to confirm if this is actually him with you when we speak later. But
okay.
The police department of Yonkers were so sweet to us, and
yes.
How is your relationship working with the men and women of blue of Yonkers?
My relationship with the men and women in blue in Yonkers is extremely awesome. I can't say that I've worked with a more responsive entity. When it comes to the police department, the commissioner is awesome. And the reason why I say that is because he's actually in the community. As you stated, he was at an event. That was National Police Week. Now, this is a national holiday. Why is it that nobody has ever brought that attention to Yonkers? Me being elected was the first one to bring this National Police Week to attention. Mm-hmm. We had an actual barbecue, so that was the first annual barbecue. The police came out, they loved it, the children loved it, the community loved it, and everything was free. People actually got to meet the police that policed their community. We had a recruitment table there. We talked about recruitment of minorities. That was another thing. I had my kids that are taking a police test, and I'm hoping that one day they can be of service to the city of Yonkers. The police commissioner, anytime I call him, he's there. He's one that'll actually listen. We had a police commissioner prior to him. He was okay. He was a nice person, but we needed more police presence within the community. And Commissioner Muller, that's what he is. He's within the community. You'll see him on a Friday. You'll see him on a Saturday. He'll come out on a Sunday. He was at Juices for Life on a Sunday, and everybody's like, where's the police commissioner? And they pointed like, that's him. And they're like, that's him. He's here in shorts and a tank top. He doesn't have guards around him. No, that's the person he is. And he's encouraging our youth to go out and take the police test. We need people in our community to police our community that look like our community. We need people to go out that are going to listen to what's going on, that are going to be a helping hand and not just there for a check. And he's there for the community, hands down. I mean, I can call him. I have his personal cell phone number. I can call him at any given time, 6 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock at night. He's there. I mean, my constituents call me for anything, and if it's police related, I can call up the police commissioner. He'll take care of it. 1, 2, 3. And that's what we need. We need people that are responsive, people that actually care. And we need to get that stigmatism away from the police department being mean, being aggressive, not listening. Because in Yonkers, we're turning that around. People actually go to the police department and talk to them. When is the last time that you've seen people that have been formerly incarcerated talk to the police department, work with the police department, actually want to implement good things in the community. That's unheard of. But those are the things that we're doing here in Yonkers because they feel comfortable with their police commissioner.
And I must say, meeting him firsthand, it was refreshing to see him out there. You would not have thought, like you said, he did not have security personnel, security detail. He came aboard the Diva Glam. He took some photos. He had a good time. And we engaged in conversation, and he was just, refreshing in terms of, I guess, with Yonkers being a smaller community than me coming from New York City, that would never happen. You would not have the New York City police commissioner hanging out in local events, especially without a detail. Even a correction commissioner, I mean, I'm sure they would come out though, but it was really nice to see the way that he interacted not only with the community but with his staff, and you can see the love that his staff has for him. So that's a beautiful thing. Tasha, I'm not going to hold up too much more of your time. I want to thank you for coming and talking to me and my guests from When the Blue Comes Off. Is there anything you want to say to close out the interview?
Yes, I want to start by saying thank you for having me. Thank you for coming into my community. Thank you for your service. And I just want to let the people know that you can be anything that you want to be. Okay? Do your civic duty. Go out and vote. Use your civic duty to engage within your community. If there's something that you know that your community wants and needs, you fight tirelessly and wholeheartedly to get it, because that's why I'm here as Tasha Diaz, councilwoman for District 3, because I saw there was a need for change. I saw there was a need where I needed to embed myself into the community, and I knew there was a need for someone to take charge. And I always leave the community with this: elect a person that you would like for your community to reflect.
Well, you heard her here, everybody. Please give it up for my girl, Councilwoman Tasha Diaz, District 3, Yonkers. Thanks, Tasha.
Thank you.
Wasn't the councilwoman just great? Oh my God, I'm telling you, I love it. I just love it when people are about their business and helping the people that they say they're going to help. You got to give it up for her. You got to give it up for her. So thank you again, Councilwoman Tasha Diaz. Looking forward to seeing you and working with you in the very near future. Now, guys, I am going to play a replay of an interview that I did with Ms. Nadia Green, who is a New York City Department of Corrections officer. And she's going to be talking about her future endeavors when she retires. I call that episode About Her Business. If you want to see the visuals, go to my YouTube channel, Simply Carter Corp, and look up About Her Business When the Blue Comes Off. Welcome back. So, I want to give great thanks to you all that have been tuning in and listening thus far, watching and listening on my YouTube channel, Simply Carter Corp. It has been a fulfilling month. I hope you have been enjoying the content that I have been bringing to you. And guess what? I promise it only gets better. So keep tuning in every Thursday at 4 p.m. Eastern and checking out the replays on Simply Carter Corp YouTube's channel. Thanks so much. I hope you guys enjoyed the show, and I look forward to bringing you many more, all with positive vibes. Remember, whatever you do, do it from the heart with love and passion. Stay safe. Talk to you soon.